These ain't glorified gang or prison stories, man. These are lived experiences. Welcome back to the Swang Glow Podcast Show. Do Rock Creep. It's an absolute pleasure to be back here at this roundtable amongst my roundtable family. Salute to all of y'all that's able to make the live. Definitely salute to those of y'all that's able to catch it a little bit later. I understand people got things to do throughout their day. Salute to those of y'all that stay prioritizing. Man, most definitely salute to those of y'all that is able to catch up to it when you are able to. Much love, much respect, always. Now, look, before I jump in what I came here to jump into, please allow me this opportunity now to ask if you haven't already did it. Take this opportunity and this time right now to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the Swang Glow Podcast Show. Do Rock Creep. I would greatly appreciate it, man. It helps us get further into the algorithm, and that's always the goal, to continue to climb. One vote at a time, one subscriber at a time, one view at a time. It all counts. Jump in the chat and hey, I encourage participation. You feel me? As long as y'all come respectfully, humbly, because we are a humble people here. But we're also educated, smart people that come and uplift each other, love and greet each other, build up off of each other. You feel me? That's what we about here. And understanding on different topics, on different things that may be going on in life right now and that people need to have better understanding towards. That's what we come here to do. We aspire to build. We aspire for correction. Nobody is above correction. Not even myself. If I'm wrong about something, I stand accountable for whatever I'm wrong about. And I'm willing to take what comes with that. It's all part of the game. You feel me? Which is why. Oh, wait, but look, before I jump into what I'm going to jump into, hey, make sure y'all hit the notification bell, man. So when we do these lives, or we just so happen to drop a video, they going to notify y'all immediately. You're going to be right there front and center at the round table. You're not missing nothing. Hit the notification bell. Subscribe. Jump into the chat, man. If you feel whatever necessary in whatever we're talking about or whatever is brought up at this round table, hey, contribute whatever is on your mind. Just be respectful about it. We ain't got to be enemies. Just because we are in disagreement about something, we don't have to be enemies. I can't reiterate that enough. Salute to all my roundtable family in the chat as well, man. Let me get to some of y'all real quick before I jump into Artifact Corpse, my brethren. Send my love and respect to you as always. Glad you was able to make the live. Miller 4057, what's up, bro? Salute. Glad you made it to the live today. Bro said I'm back, my brother. Let's go. Subscribed yesterday. That's what I'm talking about. Miller 4057. Welcome to the family, man. Salute. We embrace you wholeheartedly. You loved here, brother. You feel me? You're loved here. Even if your opinions about whatever may not, we don't have to always agree here at this round table to be family and love each other. That just means there's a different idea that's introduced to us about whatever topic or whatever is going on in life. Make us see it different. You feel me? Give us the receipts and everything that we gonna need to be able to stand behind it wholeheartedly. We not here to judge you though. We not. You feel me? That's where people be getting it mixed up at. Just because we don't introduce anything false about anybody here. Even the guys that may be in complete disagreement with me and my roundtable family in regards to the 50-50 thing, right? The PCSNY thing. We have those that oppose us wholeheartedly, and we oppose them the same, right? However, just because you stand on one side of the fence and I stand on the other, that don't mean that I want to see anything bad happen to any of these guys, because I don't advocate violence towards anybody. Whether I'm in disagreement with your lifestyle choices and you're in the disagreement with mine. At the end of the day, I come to this round table, to this platform. I introduce different ideas, different topics. I may bring stories or whatnot, but it's always truth. It's never in regards to harm or hurt anybody or wish for any harm to be brought on anybody. I don't encourage violence. I'm surrounded by violence all day, every day. My reality is violence. Unfortunately, that ain't something that I come and I brag about, but my reality is violence. I've made a career being on a level 4 general population mainline yard of violence, a pattern that I would love to change that for myself. And in attempts of doing that, it's me coming here sharing with my roundtable family some of the things that I've been through, I've witnessed, I've seen, right? And I try, my attempt at trying to make things better as a person that's still a gang affiliated, right? You have those critics that say, how can you put a positive spin on a culture that has been built around violence? In prison, on the streets, or whatever, the negative connotation surrounding the gang culture will always be viewed around violence, which is true. How can you put a positive spin on something that has built its reputation around all negative things? My thing is this. To that question, my thing is this. It's not about glorifying that lifestyle. It's about waking up those that may not know about that lifestyle, that may hear all these negative things thrown out there about it. Well, I can throw those same things out there about that lifestyle. But my standpoint, in comparisons to a person that is driven by a broken heart, and had it not been for that broken heart, you would never hear a peep from that person. That person would actually be in complete support of me. That same person with the broken heart that's driven by a broken heart that was forced out of a lifestyle, forced out. That's the difference between me and them. So, okay, now, let's attack what's here at hand right now. What we here to attack is this. And I come to this platform, to my round table, as a humbled man, as a person that is not here to be looked at or honored as anything other than what he present himself to be, which is a person that stands on everything that has been getting him through the years, surviving on level 4 mainline penitentiary prison yards, without having to degrade himself, without having to degrade any rule or regulation that has been set forth long before I was introduced into the game. Never violating any of those things. The code of conduct, when you pledge yourself to become a person to live up under that gang culture stature without disappointment of anything that was set for long in place before you ever even became part of that world. Right? You just played your part. You played your position like you were supposed to. Right? Now, all my I'm gonna say Crips, Bloods, Pyros, Hoovers, gangsters, neighborhoods, Hub and the Dub, San Diego, Long Beach, the NCs, whatever establishment that you fall up under or belong to, in prison on a level 4 general population mainline yard, there is never no disrespect of anybody. No matter how much y'all gangs hate each other on the street, no matter how much our gangs hate each other on the street, we are around these same guys that is from these opposing communities in prison. Never in a million years will any of these guys from any of these communities, no matter where you're from, is ever running around openly and blatantly disrespecting the opposing neighborhood, the opposing gang, the opposing set. Never. That happens for a reason on a level 4 general population mainline yard. That happens for a reason. You would never find that. And if by chance you do, there's severe consequences that follows with that. Everybody knows that, which is why it don't happen. Right? And really, that's not just on a level 4 general population mainline yard. Starts there, it trickles down. Right? Trickles down. Same rules apply. Especially something that's as profound as disrespect of another gang. It don't happen. So if you came to prison and had to live by that rule, any man that says he's been to prison before and is considered to be in good standings with their community, meaning you ain't never went PC. PC meaning, for you new dudes that may be confused by the terminology, right, of the 50-50 thing. Well, 50-50 equals PC, protective custody. Right? Okay. So bam. If you ain't never went protective custody, right, but you've been to prison before, whether it was a level 3, whether it was a level 4, a righteous level 3, or a level 4, the same rules and guidelines apply. There's no disrespect of nobody's hood, period. And if you do it, there's severe consequences behind it, which is why dudes go so hard on, if you come to prison and you get a tattoo and it's whacked out, we know you didn't have that tattoo before you came to the prison yard. There's severe consequences behind that. The same applies to anybody running around disrespecting another dude's section. It's not going to happen. And if it does, like I said, the consequences behind it is severe. Period. No matter who you are, no matter where you're from. That's a fact. So this is my thing, because I see this quite often by, guys online with online characters, right? That has been to prison before. That some from what I've seen, right? Some of these guys, from what I've seen, self-admitted has been to PC yards, right? But has these big online personalities, right? And then some that doesn't have these big online personalities, however, finding themselves getting caught up in the web of The level of disrespect that we are seeing online, right? As far as dudes disrespecting other people's neighborhoods, I have to take that in comparisons, what's going on out there, in comparisons to what goes on in prison. Because, like I said, some of these guys have been to prison before, right? Some self admitted to a PC yard. Now, my thing is this: the guys that has been to a PC yard, they go to the PC yard with no rules or guidelines, with no consequences, no disciplinary actions behind nothing. They go over there and free ball, literally, right? Bam. Meaning they can go over there and diss dudes' hoods without consequences. They can go over there and like I said, have have same sex relations, and to each his own. That is not an attack on anybody's sexual preference. We are not targeting, bullying, harassing, or none of that. Right? We actually encourage these guys to be themselves. Be who you are. That's what you are. And a lot of them dudes are. Especially if you choose to go a 50-50. Because that's what's over there. And they engage in different activities without consequence, including dissing people's hoods and dead homies. Right? They do it because there's no consequence behind that over there. They don't live under those rules. Meaning, they are not considered to be in good favor or in good standards with nobody. So how could you hold them to the same standards of a person like myself that lives up under those rules and guidelines of that level of cell soldiering? Like it's not tolerated or respected, never, on no level. But that's what they do. So my thing is, if you have people that is in the free world, and those are engaging in levels of disrespect to the point where they're taking opportunities to disrespect another hood, another community, right, online, and not being held to consequences behind that. That's a crazy look. Because I'm pleading to all real gang members, no matter where you from, right? No matter where you from. If you've been to prison before, you know you don't do that. So if you are a person that has been to prison before and you get out of prison and you find yourself in engaging in that level of disrespect where you're taking the opportunity to disrespect somebody else's community and dead homies and all that, right, online, and you consider yourself to be a real one, right, that's a bad look, bro. If you've been to prison before, on top of that, that's an even worse look, because you know that's a no-go. That's a no-go. That level of disrespect, I've seen dudes do it. I've seen dudes get online and disrespect people's dead family members and dead homies and stuff, right? And they doing this for a reason. To record yourself doing that level of disrespect and putting that into the universe, bro. Right? You know the police gets a hold of all this stuff. You're leaving an electrical paper trail, right, for something that you are pursuing. You're pursuing that level of disrespect. But at the same time, you leave an electrical paper trail. If this what I'm doing, but whoever respond to it, 9 times out of 10, they the ones that did something to me if something happened to me. But you're the one that's in pursuit of this level of disrespect when you are disrespecting people's dead family members, deceased family members, and deceased homies, dissing people's hoods and shit. Like, that ain't cool, bro. That gets people hurt, especially if you're not actively in the field yourself. The ones that is, those probably not even tripping over here until you give them the reason to, like, wait a minute, like, you, oh man, it's F this and F that anyway, man. And they focus wasn't even over there. Now it is. Behind you jumping on camera, disrespecting, saying disrespectful things, bro. Now you getting some people that ain't, you know what I'm saying? You giving them a focus. You giving them a purpose now. Why? For some online shit. If you've been to prison before, you know that's out. You feel me? This ain't taking no shots at nobody. I'm just saying, bro, like I see it all day, every day. You feel me? And I know the message is confusing when you have people like myself that's critical of certain aspects of the game on what's going on in the world today, right? But I'm not critical to the point of just being like tunnel vision on everything, right? Never. Never. Right? My thing is, I understand if dudes are doing things that's less favorable of you wanting to give certain um older dudes a certain level of acknowledgement, right? Because of the mixed messages that's being sent. Just like the guy that was jumping out there saying, telling his young homies, it's cool for you to go 50-50. You go. If that means you're coming home, go. I encourage you to go, but go, but don't mess up over there and go to a level 4. And then this same guy, the same OG is painting the guys that's on the level 4 that ain't never broke no rules or nothing out to be the bad guys. The game is all messed up. So if you have these type of activities going down, right? And then on top of that, you got dudes that's jumping online, dissing hoods and different communities. You feel me? For no reason. It has to be consequences to stuff like that. Because definitely that's going to be looked at a certain way. Like, you keep doing it over and over and over, uninspired by nothing other than, wanting to continue to stir up controversy. But everybody is not going to keep looking at you as like a circus freak. At some point in time, it gets old and it gets tired of being heard over and over, and you're not actively in the field. But others is, real troopers. But unbeknownst to them, you online doing bullshit that got these dudes lit when they focus not even over here on you, but you putting it over there. So bam, it get over there. But everything goes back to the person that ain't even actively in the field like that. I'm just saying, like, if and why I say not actively in the field like that, because if you was, any person with a mind on him would know that would be absolutely stupid of you to jump on camera and self-admit that you be in the field like that, that you actually do everything that you like. Come on, think about it. It makes no sense, bro. You telling on yourself, or are you putting extras on it to stir up bullshit? Either way, it's not cool to do. Because if that happened in prison, and you would never, the dudes that's doing it, you would never do it in prison, because you know what comes with that. Imagine you being the one that the riot popped off of and got one of your homies killed, got another one of them shot and paralyzed, got another one stabbed up real good. All this is behind you. That follows you everywhere you go on your resume. That's not a good look. Straight up. Shout out to the whole round table family, man. My peoples, my peoples. Miller 4057 say, now where is Pam? He looking for sis. Trust and believe. She gon' there she go. Jake Brown, what's up, Brody? Salute, salute, man. I send my love and respect to you. Sis Pam said, greetings, family. Greetings to you, Pam. Glad you made the live. You feel me? Brother Miller was asking where you was at. Like you wasn't gonna just pop out like Jack in the Box. Miller say, Pam in the house. Yes, she is. Pam said, hit that like button. Please do hit that like button, my good peoples. You feel me? Miller 4057 said, nothing but respect. Always, Miller, man. Always. And again, welcome to the Round Table family, buddy. For real, for real. It's always wonderful having allies. It's wonderful having more allies than enemies. You feel me? Some dudes wake up wanting an enemy. I don't. I've been living a whole life full of just having enemies. You know, it got to the point where I had so many enemies from doing so much shit over the years where I would run into dudes. Some of them will be like, you don't remember me, right? You don't remember me, right? And after it got to a point of that happening so many times, just start taking off on dudes, right? So yeah, man, like you do so much in prison at a young age, and as the time go by, it goes by so fast before you know it. 15 years then went by. People start looking different, acting different and shit. You know what I'm saying? You done been in and out the hole, the shoe. You done faced a whole new case, you know, or whatever you going through in that year. But it's been years since you done seen this last person, and you don't remember everybody that you done got into it with. You know what I'm saying? Or you know what, I've run across a lot of people, and a lot of the times when somebody came and was like, you don't remember me, if it wasn't like on some weird shit, like I told y'all stories about how those situations like that turned out, right? Black, salute. Glad you made the live, Brody. Legendary stuff. Salute. Glad you made the live, Brody. He said, you locked up, Unc? Yeah, man, I'm locked up, Brody. Unfortunately. Miller 4057 said, it's hot as hell in Portland. Let's survive. Yeah, man. Hey, get you something good to drink, Brody. Get you something to drink right now. That'll take all that hotness and all that. Beach Boy, salute, man. I send my love and respect to you as always, bro. Glad you was able to make the live, man. That's my bro right there. Beach Boy 562. Wizard, what's up, my brethren? I send my love and respect to you as always. Salute to you, man. Salute to the whole Australian family. You feel me? All the way over to the Chaos Chronicles, my boy Biff. Salute to everybody over there, man. Send nothing but love and respect to you all. No reparations, no vote, man. Salute. Send my love and respect to you. He said, what up, round table? Artifacts said, educational purposes only. Educational purposes only, Artifacts, my bro. You know that. We're here to educate the people, and that's what we do. You feel me? When you know, we're not kicking things around at this round table, educating each other. Then we try to educate these people, whether it be about themselves or, you know, we tell them the truth. We simply run down the truth on these people, right? And we allow our round table family to put their input in, because my roundtable family is my co-host, of course. Love and appreciate all y'all. Salute to all of y'all. And we let the cards fall where they may, but we don't attack nobody, and we invite everybody, all righteous people, all grown people. You feel me? That don't want to. We not here to preach hatred. We're not here to try to convince people to to convert over into something else, right? We just simply here when we know the truth to be the truth about something or someone, we present it and we stand on it. That's it. That's all. We don't come and we make up nothing on nobody. You feel me? We don't be in pursuit, of attack. We be in pursuit of defense, because there's a lot of attacks up on us, who we are, what we stand for, what we stand on. You know what I'm saying? The rules, regulations, and guidelines. You feel me? And people is threatened by that. Point blank, period. But again, I have to ask all my peoples out there, man, no matter where you from. If you've been to prison before, man, y'all know, man. We don't disrespect each other, man. We don't disrespect each other's hoods. You feel me? We don't do none of that, man. We dudes deal with each other. You feel me? No matter how grimy it get on the streets between the communities, the opposing communities in prison, we deal with each other. And we be knowing what's going on out there, but still, this is a whole different level of the game of being incarcerated on a level 4 general population mainline yard. I'm telling you what the real is, because I'm living in it right now as we speak. You don't get this from nobody else. At the same time of me giving y'all the realism, I come humbly. I don't come as I'm not extra out, super gang banged out, super loped out, super nothing. Right? I come humbly to this round table because my round table family is great. And everybody is invited to put their input into the chat. You feel me? If you come and you're thinking about becoming part of the round table family, hear us out. Even if you're not even in agreement with what's being said or presented, hear us out. We'll hear you out. And even if we in disagreement, that don't make us enemies. We don't have to be enemies. Truth is presented. Truth will be stood on. You feel me? But again, I say all that to say, when you know better, you do better. At some point, somebody got to start giving a fuck. You know what I mean? Somebody got to start giving a fuck, man. The code of ethics isn't evaded because we're online, because we have platforms, because we have an audience, because you become entertainers now. And this is most definitely part of the entertainment field, probably one of the most occupied spaces in the whole entire universe, right? And being that that's a fact, we have to start governing, whether you want the responsibility or not, right? It's the same as you would, the responsibility will fall in your hands, in your grasp, if you was in prison and you was one of the elders in your core that all these other dudes looked up to. At the end of the day, they gonna know your input. You've been around, you're the most seasoned, you feel me? And whatever is being chopped up, on the round table, you have to be mentally present to give a accurate response, whether it be in calm or whether it be in crisis. When it's in crisis, that's a whole different next level way of decision making. Your decision making could cost somebody else's life. And imagine having to live with somebody else's life getting took behind a decision that you made or didn't make accurately when life depended upon it. So, again, humbly, no matter where you from, bro, we have to start governing each other better. If we see we got reckless homies, because in prison I've run across all kind of different mentality types when it comes to homies. I've been around some of the most craziest burnt out Crips and Bloods you can ever be around. Those that absolutely don't give no natural F's about nothing. I've been around these dudes. I know them personally. Right? Some of these guys needed governing when they was in the company of the rest of the collective. Because in a lot of cases, a lot of homies don't know how to govern themselves. You have some reckless dudes that really don't give a F. And they need that type of governing. You feel me? But the most important element of what we're talking about is a homie being able to spot another homie that's not moving right and govern him where he needs to be governed at. Because his reckless deeds is gonna, if you know how it go in prison. I've seen many different situations where you had a dude in a car, no matter what car it was, that would come and turn that whole existence upside down for whatever reason. It's always one. Have everybody on the brink of war. Now, depending on how that car is going to respond to this, knowing your homeboy was wrong because he's the one that got everything on the brink of war, not moving right. Whatever he did to turn everything upside down, it got everybody's attention. Y'all know he wrong. Either you're gonna do the right thing or the wrong thing. That's where the decision making come in at. You feel me? I've seen it. Been a part of it. You feel me? And if you don't make the right decision, 9 times out of 10, just like I told y'all about the situation that took place when I was in High Desert State Prison that involved one of my homies, where he marked the game. We ended up getting on his head, but it was put out to the guy that was all the way wrong, foul, the real target. It was put out to all his homeboys. If they didn't take care of their business when they were supposed to with this guy, the Crips and Bloods would do it, but they gonna clean him and all the rest of their whole car up. That's how I go in prison. The whole car got to go. Not just that one guy, the whole car gonna go. That's a fact. No matter what car it is. hey man, listen, I can't make this up. That's how I go. If your homeboy is in the wrong and you're endorsing Him being in the wrong is proven by all the rest of the masses that that guy is wrong. Just so happened he's part of your car. Y'all know he wrong, but you still stand behind him. No, you go all out with it. Yeah. But the whole, every other collective there is going to be against you and your car, which means you become number one target off the top if he's wrong and proven to be wrong, and y'all know he wrong, but you still standing, you know what I'm saying? You going against the grain of everybody else. And he's wrong. The life and times of the uncarved. Salute, Brody. I send my love and respect to you as always. Much love, much love. Austin, what's up, Brody? I send my love to you as well as always. Salute, salute. Austin said PC is PC, SNY is PC, 50-50 is PC. All of it equals PC. Absolutely. Ornell Nash said is Crib Mac is 50-50. Hey, Ornell, look, I'm gonna tell you like this, right? We don't attack people like that, right? I don't got no opinion on bro. Just I don't want it looked at like I'm targeting him. You feel me? So I'm not gonna comment on bro. You feel me? In order to comment on one, you would have to comment on the whole entire game, right? That ain't what we here for. I'm just here to point out the fact that I find it crazy that if you've been to prison before and you was on that prison yard and you wasn't disrespecting opposition gangs while you was on that prison yard with these same guys, why would you go through all that discipline of not doing it when you was in prison, then wait to get out and start jumping behind the camera doing it? Right? This is what I question. And I question, why is this allowed to happen, bro? Because that's a bad look. That's a bad look. And if it's being endorsed, I mean, I understand people the young dudes do it all the time. They get in front of the camera and do this and do that. That's a different generation and blah blah blah. I get it. They're not even under attack either, the young dudes, because that's a whole different element of the game. That's a whole different element of the game. I'm talking about guys that has been to prison before, that know if you're on a prison yard, you're not disrespecting your ops. That's not happening, bro. And if you do it, you know the consequences that come with that, bro. All dudes that's been to prison before know the consequences that come with you just outright just dissing somebody on a prison yard. You know what's finna happen, bro. You know what's gonna happen, bro. So I'm just trying to figure out like why have dudes allowed the people that's been to prison before that know better. I'm not talking about the young dudes, right? You can't try to correct the young before correcting those that's older than them that may be fucking up in certain areas, because the young dudes could be looking up to these dudes. You feel me? So you got to go down, in order. You can't skip past them niggas and get to these dudes are supposed to know better because they've been to prison before. They got, some of them say they got prison priors and been to prison before and shit and been to the feds and all this and that, right? So My thing is, okay, if you had that type of history up under your belt like that, then you should know better. Which means if you wasn't doing that in prison, and you got prison up under your belt already, and you got out of prison and you start doing it, you should be held accountable for that. There should be DPs behind that, and no matter who it is, no matter how famous, no matter how not famous, no matter how rich, no matter not how rich, if you doing it, it should be consequences behind it, bro. You feel me? That's just my humble opinion, and I'm not targeting anybody. You feel me? I'm just speaking from the perspective of a prisoner, and I know that you know, prison is different from how it is out there on the streets. I understand people, move on from the different, rules and regulations of prison and all that shit. I get it. I'm not naive to that. As you should. You're supposed to grow away from the shit, but the the dissing, unprovoked dissing from elder gods, um, that has been to prison before or said they've been to prison before and have records and shit. You know, that those don't run around dissing on a prison yard, not on no level fours or not even on no level threes. You just wasn't running around dissing people because there's consequences behind that shit. We was getting into it with dudes for less than that. It wasn't even no dissing. It was stairs and shit. I come from that gang banging era when it was just stairs and shit got me and all kind of shit, just stairs. Or that I heard the way that I walked just attracted attention. You know what I'm saying? Like it was looked at as like an extra out walk. So I always attracted that type of attention. You know what I'm saying? And every time that attention came to me, it got addressed. It got addressed how it got addressed. Win, lose, or draw. that win, lose, or draw, baby. Didn't win them all. Didn't lose them all. Shit. Also didn't go PC neither. uh, that's a fact. They in the chat going crazy. Ordinary Nash said it's dudes behind the wall with hoods whacked out on their faces. It is dudes like that, right? And and I've seen like different I've seen different situations play out differently. You know, when people be having them whacked out tattoos and shit, right? I've seen different. None of them was ever turned out good. Put it that way. None of them. Austin said that's the NH55's problem. You got to ask them. No other Hoover or Pyru or Blood could go make their rules on those. It's the job to handle that. It's business. You right, Austin. Miller said, got me, G, but he raps blank whenever I see him online. Yeah, I mean, hey, to each his own, right? To each his own. Again, I'm not here to target anybody. I'm not going to speak on him without speaking on everything that I see online. Just because I don't come and I name out every specific like show that I might watch or any of that shit. Like I'm keeping up with everything that's going on. Just because I don't chase stories and all that shit, I don't mean I'm not keeping up with everything that's going on. You feel me? I know certain names is being brought up to me for a reason, right? However, right, the only thing that I can point out to the game as an overall, right, is is in prison, and I have to highlight out to the guys that has been to prison before that's out now, that may have been out for quite some time. You might have been far removed from the prison scene. I understand it happens like that. That's a blessing. I salute that. Thank God you ain't came back. But I also have to acknowledge the fact that that um as a person that's still living in that life, right? In comparisons to somebody that hasn't been there in quite some time, uh, I have to acknowledge all factors of what comes in that life. You feel me? And that even includes pointing out, bro, look, when you come to prison, this is what you can expect. If you come to prison as a gang member, this is what you can expect. If you choose to cut your career short and go left field, this is what you can expect as well. You feel me? As well as follow up with just laying out the rules of the game to you. And one of the rules of the game is there is no form of disrespect of anybody, of any other section, gang, or any of that stuff, because there's consequences that come with that shit. And if that situation isn't being corrected accordingly, then that falls upon that whole community, because it's like you endorsing the bullshit. That's all I'm trying to say. You know what I'm saying? That's how I go in prison. I can't never expect people to live by prison rule on the street. Never. However, if you've been to prison before, then you know these things to be true. Right? So I expect you, of all people out there, to still indulge in integrity of the respect factor when it comes to the disrespect of different people's communities and dead homies and deceased family members and shit. Because that puts a whole different level of disrespect and seriousness behind that level of disrespect at an all-time unreachable level. That's what they call the point of no return. You feel me? So I just expect more of all the real ones, all the real, whatever you represent, man. Just to take better control of of or temperamental homies. You feel me? That don't know how to govern themselves. You feel me? That don't know how to speak correctly. Everybody ain't a speaker. You feel me? Everybody ain't a person that can relate to other people or think outside of their community. You just got them like that. However, you do have those that is able to think on different levels and relate to different people outside of their own communities, right? On a respectable level. So that y'all can always meet at a round table when y'all need to meet. When certain situations happen, like you have a temperamental homie that may be jumping out there saying some things in the spur of the moment, might be high off of something, drunk off something, you never know. You got them like that. But the guys that still stand on the code of ethics, I know y'all still out there. Them the ones that I'm trying to appeal to. Like, bro, come on, bro. Please stop it. You feel me? We got enough going on, enough bullshit. You know what I'm saying? It's enough going on in the world right now, bro. Like, damn. Let's not endorse the BS. We got enough. We got PCs and all kind of people, man, that's actively making videos purposely, and actually making money off of your blood, sweat, and tears, pain, and frustration of anything that you may be going through, right? In one of these communities, and we have PCs that's making money off of that, right? And is actually threatening to spare no expense to spend all their YouTube money to go after gangs, right? Hey, if that's what a person, chooses to do with their YouTube, hard earned YouTube money, right? Hey, you can just donate that over here to Swing Low Podcast. We'll put it to very good use at this round table. 69 minus 10 with a J at the end. I had to shoot that one at you. You feel me? I couldn't just make this video about just, and going in one direction without addressing that to you. Right? Straight up. And he's crying about being attacked and, the way that he's being attacked and all this and that, right? Well, I don't have no sympathy for a person that is heartlessly in pursuit of making money off of other people's pain, off of other communities, trauma and heartache, something that he would never be able to relate to. It's just a view and a paycheck for him. You feel me? Anybody that goes to occupy this guy's channel videos or any of that stuff, man, y'all are a disgrace. You feel me? Because this is a person that's brokenhearted, that's driven by a broken heart. If he was invited back into his community, he would go back on his hands and knees. I've said it before, I will continue to say it. On his hands and knees. And in no shape, form, or fashion is this video in the form of bullying, harassing, or targeting. This is simply for educational purposes. And we're here to educate not just ourselves, but also this guy who's doing a very, very horrible acting job, right? That acting like he hates the game so much. But in reality, if he was invited back in, he would go in a heartbeat. You feel me? Everything that he brag about having right now, that would come secondary to that life, I promise you. I mean, it did up until the point he got booted up out of there. He got his termination papers in the fashion that he did. He's brokenhearted behind that. A brokenhearted baby mama. You feel me? So, when we are being targeted by these type of people, man, all my real ones from everywhere, no matter where you from, you start looking at our petty beasts. We got to put that shit. Start holding each other accountable first and foremost. If your homeboy is wrong, he wrong, bro. Hold him accountable and just move on. Mine is in the wrong. He got to be held accountable. We take care of it. We move on. Life continue to be lived. I'm not dissing you. You're not dissing me. We're not wasting energy on that. That's taking your focus away from where it really needs to be, and it's you're putting your focus on the next man that's in the same position as you, trying to do the same exact thing that you do, which is out of a bad situation and try to bring awareness to our broken communities. You know what I'm saying? We want to be looked at and held as, the voices, the faces of our communities in a correct manner, not for endorsing bullshit. Nobody wants to invest into a bad product. You feel me? So if you're standing behind a bad product, guess what? You're not correcting that product you're standing behind. You have to sanitize it. You feel me? And that's just respecting the game. That's just having respect for the game, period. Nobody is above, correction, man. Nobody, bro. Nobody should be looked at as above correction or held as above correction. Period. I mean, to a certain point, to a certain degree, we've been standing on that because now you have all these guys that got voted off the island that ended up on these PC protective custody yards, right? That now have these nice big these big podcasts, right, on YouTube. They're occupying big spaces, and they finally was able to develop a voice to spew that hatred, driven by a broken heart of being voted off the island. They had other plans in their retirement. Unfortunately, it got disturbed because they got big headed in that power that they was given. Right? Just like they are right now, and the power that they given by having the big platform and threatening to utilize their personal funds to go after gang members. I encourage it. Use all that money on it, but I would prefer donate that over here, man. We can do some good with that. Do you not understand the goodness that we can do with that? 69 minus 10 with a J at the end? Donate that over here, my brethren. We got somewhere for it to go. We got people that we actually want to help. We don't have that big platform yet. Not yet, but we are patient people. We are consistent people. We are resilient people. We are strong people, man. Believe that. Shout out, man. Shout out to my brethren. Let me see. Hold up, y'all. I ain't going nowhere. I ain't going nowhere. Ordinary Nash said, end up dead next week. Indian rib. Oh, hey, man. Hey, Ordinary Nash. Look, bro. That was a tragic, horrible situation. But a prime example of, just, you just got to be, you got to be a better person, man. That's all I'm going to say, bro. Hoover Gumby, what's up, Brody? Checking ain't cheating. Bro said, when you gonna invite me on your live? Hey, Hoover Gumby, whenever you want to get it in, we can get it in. I already told you, bro. You got that coming, and it's all unscripted. You feel me? Shit, what you doing tomorrow? Just let me know, man. You whenever, Brody. You already know, bro. It's a gang of shit I want to talk to you about anyway. Like, people don't understand this, man. When you really know it, dude, right? And you can give true insight on a person, right? I know Gumby. You know what I'm saying? And I know he a real one. I know bro is a real one, bro. Straight up, bro is a real one, bro. Like, he has never shown himself to be, as long as I've been knowing him, from the time when we was in the Crip module, 3400 Baker Road. You feel me? In 1995, bro. He was right down the tier from me. Right? We seen each other every day. Like I said, before I even got in there and met him in there at that time in the Crip module, I had read about his case in this magazine. I'm in the hole, and somebody's like, dudes shooting me magazines and all that. As soon as I get in there, so bam, I remember just randomly going through this magazine and seeing this big ass article, right? And reading the article. The article was all about Gumby's case. right? All about this fucking case in this magazine. I swear to God, I can't even remember the name of that magazine, but it was in the magazine. So bam. Finally, when I get into the crypt module, that's when I meet him and everybody else, all the other homies that was in there. You feel me? So shit. We was all in there for some crazy shit. You had those like next level gang banging in there, bro. Real, real, righteous. And just so happened, bro was one of them. Gumby was one of them. I told y'all the story. Uh, damn, man, Gumby, we gonna get it in, man. But I told y'all the story on when Gumby had the fight. Well, he actually had 3 fights back to back, right? Because because the person that y'all see online, that's like the tame version of bro. Right, right. In my humble opinion of me being around Gumby, right, knowing him, that's the tame version of him. However, like he is Hoover, point blank, period. And him having those fights when we was in the Crip module, that's what it was all about. And one of the homies, G Lottie from Insane, got offended. You know, that Gumby was standing on what he was standing on when it comes to that. They had words. Bam. One of them was in the cell with Gumby. So the OG, man, nigga, you in the cell with him, nigga, y'all better get down, nigga, and whoopie whoopie wham, right? They get down. Right? Gumby whoopie. Hey, Gumby got Gumby got hands, bro. Look, this what I be tripping on about motherfuckers online and don't be knowing. Niggas be talking a lot of shit, right? And don't even be knowing dudes are get with you. Right? And I'm not putting no extras on it or none of that shit because I know him. I'm still in prison, bro. Out. He been out. You feel me? But this is somebody that I know those situations as well as being in prison with him. You feel me? Being in the hole with bro. Them with no nigga, we didn't have TVs or radios or nothing. It was military type shit, reading books and working out, building your mind and your body so your spirit and everything else can be strong. That's what all them dudes that was back there doing them times, bro. You know, nobody lived better than the next man. We made it as good as we could because there was nothing. They gave you nothing. You're in a dungeon. You living in a dungeon back then with no TV or no radio. And all you had to entertain yourself was books and magazines. Gumby had all the books. When I say that man had probably 1,000 books in this cell. That ain't put no extras or none of that shit on it. And all them books he had in his cell, he read. I swear to God, all the books that he had in his cell, close to 1,000, he had stacks. Right? That's where I got all my reading material from during them times back then, from him. Right? And when he give you a book, he's gonna question you about it. Because he's read all of them. Right? I'm telling you, bro, dude's smart as a motherfucker. Don't be fooled. I mean, the online shit is online shit, bro. But I'm telling you, I know, bro. Straight up, and I'm not, putting no extras on it or none of that. You know what I'm saying? All right, Corey Jones, you entitled to that, man. You entitled to that, man. Pam said, Brother Miller didn't like me the other day for no reason but respect. Uh-oh. Austin said, I don't follow his and not his music and whatever he doing. Jackson Darrell, what's up, Brody? He said, peace, do rock Cree. Peace to you, my brethren. Glad you was able to make the live. Miller 4057 said, that ain't true, Pam. We were just cutting it up. They in the chat going crazy. UUGG. What's up, Brody? He said, can you recommend 2 books as we move into the future? Um, UUGG, I actually can. Right? Go get that Nelson Mandela, the autobiography by Nelson Mandela that he wrote during the times of um, when they threw him in the hole, and when he was going through all that, right? Even the trials and tribulations with his wife cheating on him and all that, right? Get that one. Get that book. It's autobiography by Nelson Mandela. Get that one, and either get the Asada Shakur book, right? That's another autobiography, or get the Marcus Garvey, the philosophies and opinions of Marcus Garvey. Very, very good books. Miller 4057 said, yesterday was my first day. Let's go. That's right, man. That's right, man. Welcome to the Roundtable family. Limes over lemons. What's up, sis? She said, your outlook on life is amazing. Salute to you, sis. Limes over lemon. I hope everything is going well for you out there. Glad you was able to make the live. Send all my love and respect to you as always. Thank you for that. I am only able to see things from the perspective that I do because I have wonderful, great people like yourselves that help me in some areas that I might. It's a lot of stuff that was in question with me, right? That I wasn't understanding, and a lot of y'all helped me understand those things. You feel me? So y'all have to credit yourself too, man. Salute to all of y'all. Roderick's Choice, what's up, Brody? He said, tapping in with you, creep. Much love and respect always, bro, for sure, man. Glad you was able to make the live. I send my love and respect to you, Brody, as always. Salute, salute. Austin said, but anyway, I want to stay on the topic of this video. I don't want to talk about Blueface and this and that, TT and this and that, or any other PC. Limes Over Lemon say, I pray you make it home to your wife and loved ones. Thank you, Limes Over Lemon, man. I appreciate that. I absolutely wish and pray for the same thing too. You feel me? And eventually, with us continuing to speak it into existence, it will manifest itself. You feel me? Sis Pam said, justice for creep, free creep until it's backwards. Man, salute. Always, sis. Thank you. Thank you. We will continue to speak it into existence until it happened. And guess what? As it happened and I experienced all that shit for the first time, y'all gonna be experiencing it with me. Y'all gonna be right there. We're gonna be right here at this round table with it. I promise you. You won't miss nothing. You feel me? That's a fact. Shay Decor said, hell nah, big creep. Don't want to talk about no buster activity or busters. Life in staying out of prison is the way in the topic. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, bro. And salute to you, man. Glad you was able to make the live, man. You know we stand on point, we stand on focus. You feel me? Straight up. We not gonna allow none of these weird people to jump out there and derail, where this train go to. You feel me? Straight up. Because there is people that actually rely on these videos, that rely on us showing up here at this round table just to check in with each other, just make sure everybody doing okay. I always tell you, I want y'all to show back up here at this round table in one piece. Healthy, alert, aware, you feel me? And living in love and in truth. Point blank, period. And if by chance you going through whatever, we all go through some shit. So when we meet here to make each other feel better. You know what I'm saying? And not attack each other or none of that. You know what I'm saying? We here to uplift each other and other people that's out there that may need that. You want to become part of this round table family? Come on. Become an official member, man, by subscribing. Subscribe to the show. That's all you got to do. Jump in the chat. You feel me? And voice your opinion. I always encourage participation from all the roundtable family. Those that's been with us know that. You feel me? And I give it to y'all. I let y'all do y'all thing. And my roundtable family always pop up, and show out. You know what I'm saying? Always. Straight up. Hoover Gumby said, brother, they hate me, laughing my ass off. Hey, Gumby, man. Hey, one thing that I know, right? That I know is the hatred is definitely going to always be there with the real one. It's always going to be there. No matter what you do, no matter what you say, how you say it, it's always going to be somebody that's soft in the cut that's going to find something about you that they just not going to like, because for whatever reason, they feel like whatever you've been able to accomplish, they ain't been able to do it, no matter how hard they tried. And here you come with very little ease and making things just appear. Right? Just appear. And it looks easy to the person on the outside looking in on you, right? It looked easy to them, and they ain't been able to figure it out. So naturally, they gonna sit back and try to find different shit to hate on you about, Brody. Just keep doing your thing. Just keep being the stand-up man that you are. That I definitely know you to be. I ain't never known you to be weak. I ain't never known you to be no sucker. I ain't never known you to be no buster. In all honesty, I've said it before. I have to say it again, right? This probably the tamest I've seen, bro. Right? This is the great Gambino. This is what we used to call him, right? I don't know if y'all know about that name, right? But this is what we used to call Gumby, the great Gambino. This is when he still had his hair, when he used to wear the French braids and shit, running around the Crip module looking like Snoop Dogg, right? Tall and skinny, just like Snoop Dogg, right? I swear to God, that's bro, man. Come on. Running it. You feel me? When I think about him, when I think about Gumby, I think about all them dudes that was around us back then at that time. Monster Black Ass from A. Trey Hoover. Baby Ricochet from 5'9". Big Evil from A. Trey. Baby Spoon from A. Trey. Baby Sleep from A. Trey. Baby Boxer. Right? Crazy ass Big Hoover Gus. Right? I can go on and on and on, man. Worm crazy ass from 5'9". Right? I can go on and on and on, bro. I know all these dudes. All of them. We all can attest to each other's character. Right? When I tell you that Gumby got hands, Gumby got, hey man, y'all need to stop playing. I'm telling you. Right? He whooped out the dude by himself 3 times back to back. Back to back. Straight up. That's a fact. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, come on, man. Come on, man. Hoover Gumby said, you all political now. Hey, Gumby, look, bro. I'm watching the game, right? I'm watching and I'm peeping everything going on, right? I'm peeping. And I see how fair these people are not playing with real ones. Right? And when I see the level that they are playing at, how can one not smarten up and you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just trying to maneuver right, bro. I'm just trying to, you know what I'm saying? I want all my moves to be done right this time. Especially when these dudes is showing me like, this is how we getting down. We don't care how much you like it. We don't care how much you embrace it or any of that. This is what it is. And they pushing they line hard. I'm seeing it. I get it. At a juice '07. What up, Brody? Glad you was able to make the live. He said, what's going on, Do Rock? Southeast San Diego tapping in, man. Shout out to all the Southeast San Diego. You feel me? Whole bunch of great people out there, man. Whole bunch of great people out there in Dago. For real, for real. Salute. Glad you was able to make the live, Brody. Pam said, you can definitely tell something is wrong with oh man, they on that dude head. Limes over lemons said individuals are chasing clout now. They think by being disrespectful is cool. It's really not. Just opens another gravesite for themselves. It actually does, man. And your lines over lemon, you put it in the way that I would like to articulate in that fashion. However, they would boop bop me all over my head. So I'm glad you the one that said it. However, look around online. You have dudes that's going out their way, disrespecting people's hoods, dead homies, and all that, right? Actively making these type of videos. These dudes don't know these people from Adam that they dissing. They're in a whole completely different place on earth that people cannot get to them or touch them or anything. And I'm not encouraging anybody to go do anything to anybody. Feel me? We don't promote violence. However, God is going to be God. God would not stop guiding. Right? It's not going to happen. So, whatever your fate be, being that you're going out your way to be disrespectful, disrespecting people's hoods and dead homies and shit, again, bro, again, that has to be addressed. People have to be held accountable for that shit, especially if you've been to prison before. You know better. You know that's not cool. It won't slide, and they know it won't slide on the inside, so it definitely shouldn't be encouraged on the outside, and you've been there before. Period. We not the only felons. I'm not the only felon. I know I'm doing a prison show live from prison, right? But goddamn, I'm not the only felon. You have ex-felons that's out now. You feel me? Damu Robbins, what's up, my bro? I send my love and respect to you as always. Glad you was able to make the live, bro. Salute to my bro, Damu Robbins. K9 Tide 227 said, you in the bank, OG? Yeah, I'm in the bank, Brody. I'm in the bank, unfortunately. And I don't say that braggingly, or I'm not here to encourage nobody that this shit is cool, because it ain't. Don't look at me as being in the bank, little bro, as being cool or none of that shit, because it ain't. I've been here 31 years. I don't know how old you are, but 31 years out of my life that I would never be able to get back. 31 years in your life, hopefully you wouldn't have to spend too much of that time in jail, if any at all, right? But actively being a person of worth to your family, and if you have kids, to them too. Because this jail shit, man, hey man, I can't say it enough, man. You feel me? I encourage y'all to not come. It's not worth it. You feel me? It's not worth it. Straight up. Damu Robbins say, why it say blood when y'all get type my name? Oh no, the Damu ain't no blood. No disrespect. Hey, Damu. Hey, big channel, listen. I'm not gonna lie, right? When I seen that in the chat, I'm like, why do they keep putting blood? What do who right? And I'm not realizing that it might be the auto correcting that's defining your name as that, right? Under the Swahili word, right? But no, he's not no blood. Dalmo Robbins is not a blood. That's my bro. You feel me? From Neighborhood Drive, Crip, in the Inland Empire. You feel me? But it does spell it out, and I didn't understand that until you just said that right now. No disrespect to the Bloods or any of that. Austin said, I hate to say it, look at the name in your name, Damu. Just that alone, people would think you a Pyru or a blood. Damu say it's just a slight assumption, nothing I can't respectfully bring knowledge to far as me. Rocky Kemp said, are high profile quote unquote famous guys forced to go PC? That's a good question, Rocky Kemp 227. Salute to you. Glad you was able to make the live. And in some cases, they gonna ask you. They not just gonna throw you in there, right? Because of who you are. They're gonna ask you if you want to go PC or not. Right? As soon as you come into prison, they're gonna ask you if you want to go PC, and if you want to pursue that, they're gonna give you the option to pursue going PC because the high profileness of your case. Some choose to go off the top, and some don't. You feel me? But you are definitely given the choice on if you want to go or not. Definitely. Wizard said Dalmu Robbins is an OG. He's known Creek and done time with Creek since early 90s. Salute Dalmu Robbins. That's right, Wizard. Wizard no. All family right there. Wizard no. Send my love to you, Wizard. As always, my brethren. Pam said, I said for the umpteenth time, you're stuck with me. I'm on mute. Salute, salute. Salute, Pam. La Salette. La Salette, salute, man. Glad you was able to make the live. He typed in the chat, Gumby. Austin said, Creep, I don't think Gumby's still here. He must have not got your message about bringing him with you live. Oh, yeah. Well, we going to get it in. Trust me. Me and Gumby going to get it in. That's a given. Me, Gumby, and Young Trigger Bird. We definitely going to get it in. Them the bros right there. That's a no-brainer. Right? That's a no-brainer. Like whenever they ready to do it, I would definitely make myself available for them. All real ones. Austin said, but it's 3 different people on YouTube in different channel chats with Dalmu in their name, but be the in their name. Yeah, but this one right here is definitely, bro. I understand though, because when the name is typed out in the chat, I guess the autocorrect gives the definition of his name rather than leaving it when they are adding him back in the chat. You know what I'm saying? So if people is seeing that the blood pop up rather than the Dalmu, whichever word pop up, whether it's blood or whether it's Dalmu, you know what I'm saying? People would, if you didn't know him, yeah, of course, automatically you might assume that he is a blood or a Pyru. However, you know, being that the chat is doing that, You know what I'm saying? He's just saying like, I'm available to let everybody know that I'm a Crip, I'm a Keyway. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, man. And let me say this, right? Because I know the critics out there is gonna say, you got this old dude who's been in prison for 30 years, jumping online, glamorizing gang membership and uh, what they still do and don't do and all this and that. Well, let me say this. We've always been on course with every message that we've came to this roundtable and presented to our roundtable family, right? And I've always pointed out that if you're not a gang member, you don't have to become one to be relevant in life. I advise you not to do it. And I give my reasonings for that. And I also say, if you are a gang member, part of that life and engulfed in it, well, here are the things that you're going to need to know that's going to be expected of you if you consider yourself to be a real gang member. And it's up on you to go by these rules and regulations or go against the grain and go to the other side of the fence to the 50-50 PC. It's all up on you. I give you all the necessary information on all that stuff, whichever choice you choose to make. I'll make it available. So no, this is in no way, shape, form, or fashion me glamorizing gang membership, gang violence, going to prison, endorsing prison, making prison look fun, telling people that they need to go to get the experience, catch a case, go to your community and do some bullshit, jeopardize your freedom and your life just so you can come sit inside this hot ass prison cell with, like, come on, how much sense do that make? But you will have those people that's out there that's going hard and painting a bullshit narrative on a life that they never lived, on a life that you've lived all your life. You know what needs to be done. You know what corrections that needs to be made. But hey, everybody got their corrections that they need to make in their collectives, not just in minds. So these people that's willing to spend all this money highlighting out another ethnicity that you have never lived around or in or near or any of that shit, willing to spend all these resources to make it look bad, by all means, have at it. But again, I advise you, you can donate that money over here. We know what we can do with it. We got an active roundtable family over here. We know what to do with it. Donations, come on, man, kick in. You ain't got to throw that money away. You ain't got to piss it off like that, nigga. Donate to a worthy cause. We're going to show you greatness with it. You feel me? And at the same time, we're not getting off course. We're not getting off course. We're here to every attempt at assassination when it comes to a culture that you've never lived, when you actually have somebody and people like myself that lived it. You feel me? I would much rather the masses gravitate towards over here than a fake, broken-hearted version of a person that got exiled out and moved off of pure hatred when there's no hate here. None. Xavier Orion 290 said, Texas, no hate intended here, but how are y'all getting away with this in California? Isn't it like some CO compete game? Hey, Xavier, great question. Right? Great question. See, we don't focus on You know, anything that's beyond our control, that is beyond our control, what a CO can see and cannot see. We're not here focused on that. We just here simply to get our message across and out to the masses. And it ain't messages of hate. It ain't messages of anybody telling anybody to go out into the communities and harm anybody. So why would your question be in the direction of what the COs can and cannot see? Why you can't stand behind something that's that's great? Because we don't preach hatred. We're not pushing people into the communities to go harm other people. We're not pushing people to go commit crimes. So why would your mind be on what a CO can or cannot see what's going on right here? Rather than you congratulating us for having this platform where we actually encourage people, be better versions of themselves, including you. You can be a better version of yourself, but not looking at this from the perspective of authority and question, because that means you don't want this to happen. And why? We're not preaching hatred. Why you don't want us to exist, brother? That's a question that I have for you, sir. Xavier, you type this in the chat. I expect the answer. Austin said, creep, hold it down. I'm going to go clean up and mop and stuff before the sun over here is all the way down. Stay careful. For sure, for sure. Austin, man, salute to you. Send my love and respect as always. Glad you came and contributed, Brody. Take care of what you need to take care of, my brother. Salute to you. Hey, man, but yeah, man, again, not taking no shots at anybody, just throwing it out there. You feel me? On respect. You know what I'm saying? Respect, bro. Respect can get a lot of differences understood with a certain amount of respect. You don't have to go and just this, and this, that, disrespect this, disrespect that. You feel me? Just to do it, especially if you know better. If you of age and you just certain things that you're supposed to know at a certain age, that's one of them. That's definitely one of them, man. I don't disrespect nobody. Nah, that's all that. Why? What would you get out of that other than making yourself a target, a automatic target? If not you, somebody in your family. Dudes don't think about that. Family members and all become targets. You disrespecting those hoods and they dead homies and deceased family members and all that. You then took the game to a whole unreachable level where there's no more understanding in this. It's just all out, just crash out. You feel me? And I hate to see anybody have to be in that mind frame. However, when people is forcing your hand to be in that mind frame, to start thinking like that on that level, because you took it there for clicks and views, you sitting around thinking you hee ha haing on one side of the keyboard after you upload the video, and this person that's finna see that, them, their family, and everybody else that care about them, they waiting to see you. They plotting and planning every second and every moment. You feel me? And they already come to acceptance of just complete crash out mode when they see you. It's like a bull setting in on his target, you know, of redness. Once he locked in, and that's all he see, and that's all he going after. That's how a lot of you dudes is making y'all self targets, man. Dissing, that's crazy work, bro. You feel me? I had a PC, diss my hood, my dead homies, and all that. PC, dude. He way on the PC yard. I can never be mad at that because I can't get to him. He's only doing it because he's on a yard where they don't live by no rules, regulations, codes, or nothing. They can do shit like that and see no consequences. What I'm supposed to do? Call over to the PC yard to somebody from Durock and be like, hey, he dissed up. Man, get the fuck out of here with that, man. I don't fuck with no PC. Period. From Durock, and I don't care. I don't fuck with no PC. No protective custody inmate shall have no access to creep. Shall have no access to no real one. Period. You feel me? Once they be you over there and you dissing, hey, you got that. I can't beat you like that. You feel me? But see, that only came about from that PC, that particular from Zesty Blood, is because they got exposed in the fashion that they did about their true sexuality. And again, this is no way, shape, form, or fashion a form of bullying, harassing, targeting anybody for their sexual preference or any of that. This is strictly for educational purposes only, right? But and me educating these guys on who they really was, they needed help at understanding that, and I helped them in all ways that I could, in all ways that I still can. If they say a peep, you feel me? Straight up. But again though, bro, I humbly approach each and every real one out there in the world, whether you're free or incarcerated or any of that, right? I humbly approach you all, not as no, you know, I'm not better than nobody or none of that shit, you know. I'm just saying, bro, I approach everybody with respect, no matter where you from. You feel me? No matter where you from. Crip, Blood, Pyro, Hoover, neighborhood, gangster, wherever you from, I don't care, bro. A real one is a real one to me. You feel me? And I know you ain't broken no laws. You feel me? Or is in bad standings. Then hey, if I deal with you, people gonna know it. You feel me? And if I don't, I don't. It don't mean that we are enemies. I just don't deal with you. You feel me? And you don't deal with me. Ain't nothing wrong with that. We're not enemies. I don't have no enemies. I don't look at nobody out there as enemies like that. Not even the guys that is online preaching falsisms. I'm talking about the protective custody guys, right? Speaking falsisms about the general population and certain aspects of the gang culture and all this, right? Even if I'm in which I am complete disagreement with anything that they put out into the atmosphere, there's no hatred driven behind my push. I'm just here to stand on the side of righteousness and stand firm on it. And in the midst of me standing firm on that side of righteousness, it's not driven by hatred. It's driven by truth, by facts, by code of ethics. You feel me? That's it. That's all. Hatred and all that don't come from this side. That come from over there. Listen to these guys talk. This one guy, 69 minus 10 with a J at the end, said he's going to spend all his YouTube money that he's been saving to go after these vicious gang members. By all means, do so. 69 minus 10 with a J at the end, do so. But I would definitely encourage you, donate that money over here to the Swang Low podcast. We got good things to do with it. We accept all donations, including yours from a pesita. You feel me? Other than that, we ain't gonna do nothing but sit around and laugh at You being dumb enough to spend your hard-earned YouTube money just to cast a shadow up on Crips. You stupid as fuck. Go ahead, man. Do it. Do it. They're all gonna laugh at you. Straight up, man. But anyway, man, off that clown. But yeah, man, I just want us to do better though, man. You know, how we relate to each other. There's too many different people trying to attack us from different angles. You feel me? For us to be attacking each other, man. We got to be mindful of this. You feel me? We got to be mindful of this shit, man, because there's dudes that's actively working to divorce us all. All these guys that I know personally online right now, guys that I do have relationships with, right? I believe are all wonderful human beings, have great things to contribute. You feel me? To the world, to all these different communities that these dudes is from. I believe they have some of the greatest stuff to contribute to these communities and to the world, and should have their platforms and voices to do so. You feel me? Nobody is perfect. I understand that. None of us is. But right is right, wrong is wrong. If we see one of ours that's out of line, that's doing something wrong, it's up on us to correct him. That's all I'm saying. Not taking no sides or nothing in anything. Just giving y'all a part of, how it's done in prison. You know what I'm saying? Whether y'all want to know about that part or not, I'm just making it available for the ones that do want to know. There is no disrespect of no other neighborhoods unless you just want to get your homeboys in a wreck. It's going to be you and all your homeboys that's going to get in. It's not going to be just one person. Everybody is going to suffer the blunt of that disrespect. That's just how it go. Especially if you're not willing to correct it, everybody is going to suffer from it. Because everybody see that you have one person that is completely wrong, foul, and out of bounds. You feel me? Everybody see this. Everybody is in complete agreement that this person is wrong. And yet and still, y'all know that this person is wrong. However, you're not doing anything to correct it, and he continue to do this and do that. That falls up on that whole entire car. That's how I go in prison. You feel me? I've seen it happen. Like I told y'all, when the incident happened when the one guy did what he did, the disrespect that he did towards the Southern Hispanics when I was in High Desert. Okay, well, y'all got this amount of time to take care of him. Y'all don't take care of him, we gonna take care of him and all the rest of y'all. And that's what happened. And it started with him. He got mopped up, beat up off the yard, then all the rest of them one after the other. Right? One after the other. That's a fact. That's how it always happened in prison. And then further on down the line, the ones that allowed that to happen when you should have knew better, they gonna be brought up on other charges within their own establishment for allowing it to happen. Get boop-bopped again. That's how a lot of other dudes have lost their careers, by making the wrong decisions in situations like that. I've seen that too. And the same men would have you believe, oh, you got fake, you got dirty politics. Right? Nah. You just didn't make the correct decisions that you were supposed to make during the times when you were supposed to make them, when it was the most crucial. You have to be able to think on your feet. In critical times, you have to be able to think. I told y'all a good 75-80% of surviving prison is being able to think. Having a clean, healthy mind state. Period. Oh, y'all crazy. Pam said, Austin, my floor is next. Austin, she wants you to clean her floor, man. Pam said, justice for creep, free creep until it's backwards like a MFer. For real, for real. Hit that like, Pam said. Wizard said, free do-rah creep, my brethren. Man, thank you. Free me. Quick. Quick. We got things to get to. We got places to go, man. We got things to get to. We got historical greatness to put in motion, to put into play. Historical greatness. You feel me? Which is why I want a lot of my bros out there, man, just stay on point, man. Stay on point with everything that y'all been doing, man. Continue to create y'all legacies, man. Don't allow the suckers to try to twist you up out your spot because they ain't got nothing to lose. They ain't never had to sit. A lot of them dudes that's out there, they ain't never had to sit in no real chamber like we had to sit in no real dungeons, bro, where it was nothing and we was just relying on wit and just natural skill of being who we was. You feel me? Like everybody wouldn't be able to walk in the shadow of a lot of the dudes that we was, who we are, who we became, the people that we was around. Not ever. You feel me? And that's a fact. I don't want the real ones to forget that, man. How far y'all have come. Especially if you've been through this incarceration shit. And you was able to get your freedom back. How far you have came. How much you've overcome in comparisons to a lot of these dudes that's been out there that ain't done or went through half of the shit that you had to go through in life. Especially if it involved this prison and jail shit. I've seen a lot take place over the years, man. Involving a lot of people, man. From everywhere. So I've seen some of the realest stand strong. And I've seen some of the realest fold too. You feel me? I've seen it. This life ain't it, man. Hey, man, know what you getting into. That's the only thing that that's the best message that I can give to y'all. Know what you getting into. You feel me? Just like you want to know what about your favorite football team. All the stats, all the records and all that. Do the same thing on this gang culture. See how many of your homeboys, do a survey. See how many of your homeboys got locked up and got looked out for. You feel me? Do a survey. See how many of your homeboys got locked up and the same dude from your gang done ran through his baby mama and then put kids in his baby mama. So y'all got the same baby mama now. All this happened once you got locked up though. Yeah, like come on, man. I'm just keeping it real. The Making of a Man TV. He said, what up, Loco? Salute to the channel, man. Glad you was able to make the live, Rich. Salute to you, Brody. Salute, salute, salute. Glad you was able to make the live, Brody. Hey, but yeah, man, hey. As elders, at first I ain't gonna lie, I was having like a hard time, being looked at as a person that was, elevated up to the next age bracket to where you have these younger dudes like calling you old head and unk and big bruh and you know what I'm saying, OG and all this stuff, right? Okay, I've learned to embrace it. However, However, it's like, okay, I can be called this, but at the same time, as a person that has reached that status, right? If I have something of quality to give back to you that I think that can help you, and you're not being receptive to it, it's kind of contradictory. You feel me? Especially if it's something that's not tearing you down or nothing like that, just giving you a different perspective, a different approach, a different outlook on how to look at certain situations that you may be faced with. Some people just automatically just shut it down. And they do that because in some cases, not a lot, but in some, we may not have that we may not be familiar with each other to the point of you being willing to accept certain information, right? Or different aspects about certain things, right? But you would definitely be able to take that from somebody that you've been around, that has been, in the field with you, so to say. You feel me? Rather than just having an older dude that's from where you from, that ain't been out there with you, but an older dude that has been around. He just been in the jailhouse, right? Trying to give you some game about something. It it's shunned off unless it's coming from somebody that's within that age bracket. That's the way that I look at it. You feel me? But the slap in the face and all that comes from when somebody will say, well, we didn't always have big homies around us to tell us this and tell us that. We didn't have big homies to tell us about this person and school us about this and about that. Well, now everything is online. A lot of your big homies got channels, YouTube channels now. Then they're putting available information out there for y'all so y'all can, get more familiar with them. And if you want to holler at them on a personal, basis, you can make a way to do that too. Everything isn't content. Everything isn't for the YouTube channel. You feel me? Especially in that culture. So if you have active homies that is online with these channels that's actively trying to school y'all on whatever it is that can't be spoken on one of these platforms, figure out a way to build a communication bridge with your G homies so y'all can know exactly what it is that you need to know. If that's the type of lifestyle that you are choosing to live. Not being forced, not being directed, but you're choosing to live in that lifestyle. And if you are choosing that, then there's things that you need to know or how you're going to be expected to be, conduct yourself in that lifestyle. And that will be presented to you. So you can't say that it wasn't available to you, or if the opportunity for you to get to know these dudes wasn't there for you, because it always is. You feel me? Rather than listening to some PC give a brokenhearted testimony about the game that they now despise, but only because they was forced out. They didn't have a honorable discharge. They was forced out. Dishonorable like a motherfucker, right? Forced out. In the coldest, crazy kind of way where they had to take ghetto flights off the yard. Them, we don't respect them. But to the dudes that have that y'all have these reputations, these strong reputations from y'all communities, bro. I humbly and respectfully appeal to all of y'all, no matter where you from, bro. If you know better, you know. It's just certain things that ain't supposed to happen to take place. You feel me? We all need to start stepping in and correcting some of these dudes that we do have communication bridges with when they get out of line, when they jump out of bounds and do something that we know isn't going to be a good look, not for themselves, but for their whole collective. That's with anybody. That's with anybody, including if it was one of mine doing it. You feel me? I'm almost positive there would be somebody out there, hey, bro, hey, look, can you please take the opportunity to holler at Whoop-de-Wham because he's saying disrespectful stuff and this and that and whoop de wham, and my ears open to that. And whatever resources that I can do, and I see that this person is doing this and he's out of bounds, he's out of pocket doing it, absolutely. Why wouldn't I want to step in and put out that fire? And I know he's wrong. You feel me? So yeah, man, I'm humbly asking all my peoples, no matter where you from, man, male or female, it don't even matter. You know what I'm saying? If you got a voice within your community, you feel me, and people is loving and respecting you on a certain level, we have to start utilizing that, our resources, man, to try to put out as many fires as we can, because shit is already messed up. We already a target. You feel me? Why would we want to become either further targets to unnecessary bullshit? Why would we want to place anybody in harm's way? People is crazy nowadays, man. Come on, bro. Funerals and all that shit. We can't even pay for funerals no more. You feel me? Like, come on, man. This is not worth it, bro. So, to each his own, though. I can only appeal to the people by doing my part, because I know better. If I see certain things happening, I'm like, damn, that's fucked up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I have to make it available. Like, this ain't how I go in here. And if you've been through this, then you should know. That's all I'm saying. It has to be correction. Nobody should feel like they are above correction. You feel me? Simple as that. My brother Wizard said, "You suit the position well, brother. You want the best for young ones." Yeah, man, I absolutely do, because, like I said, I got little nephews. You feel me? Shout out to my little nephew Jordan, and shout out to my little nephew Paul. Right? These two little guys, they have the whole entire world ahead of them by them being so young and having the same energy and innocence that we all had at these ages of 12 and 10 years old, right? They got the whole world ahead of them. Every time I look at them and I see them, I want the best. I want them to have a better success story about how their life turned out than mine's. See, mine's is all, it got the gang stuff and all that shit in it, right? So that's it is what it is. It's part of my history, I guess, right? I got to be accepting of it. However, with these kids that has the whole world ahead of them, they deserve better than that. And you should want to see them experience better than that. You feel me? And you should most definitely be doing whatever you can to make sure that they are given the best opportunities in life at maintaining their pureness and having a full life of creating their own memories, their own history. You feel me? So that's why I find it important of standing on realness, standing on business. You feel me? In anything that we bring to this round table, we present to this round table, it has to be real, and we have to be real enough to stand on it. Period. You feel me? And that's what we do. We want to see the best outcome for these younger dudes. Straight up. Even if you decide, if you want to go, if you are part of that gang banging life, that bang banging culture shit, then the necessary information will be provided for you for that too. But if not, we're not encouraging you to go that route because we know the outcome of that. So I want to give you the best experience at living life outside of having to feel like you have to be part of a gang and go to jail to be relevant in certain circles. And nah, hell no, you ain't got to be part of none of that to be relevant, to be great. Straight up. And you gonna know it here at this platform. Because we encourage all our people that come here to be better, to do better, to be better thinkers. Just like today, how we humbly come to all our brothers and sisters out there, man, in the free world, no matter where you from, what you represent, right? And stand on righteousness. Stand on righteousness, bro. We know that we know what's right and we know what's wrong. You feel me? Especially when it comes to people jumping behind the camera, disrespecting somebody else's community and deceased family members and all this stuff, right? It's horrible. I have videos on my Instagram, right, where I actually have a video of, there's two different instances. One guy is at the cemetery digging up his op's grave. Who, by the way, that same guy that was in the cemetery digging up his op's grave, right, ended up losing his life within 24 hours of doing that. Tragically shot in the head and unalived. Within 24 hours of digging his op's grave up and filming it. And then you have another guy that goes to another cemetery where this guy is actually like filming himself defecate on top of one of his ops grave burial sites, and with the gun sitting right there on top of where this person is buried, and he's filming all this, saying the guy's name and all that, right? At the same time, the person that's doing this appears to have had like a stroke or something, because like half his body seemed like it's dead and can't move. Right? You have people that does these level of disrespectful things, bro. Those of us that know better, bro, you feel me? We can't possibly sit back and allow dudes to put other people that's actually out in the field in harm's way. Dudes are purposely making others targets when it don't even have to be like that. I ain't never trying to. That's why I'm very careful with the shit that I say. I don't try to involve myself in different people's politics and beefs and disagreements and all that, because I understand, people is gonna be all over it and jump all over us. I don't do it. You feel me? And because I know if I involve myself in shit, the people that's out there in my community ain't got nothing to do with what Do-Rod Creep is jumping behind the camera online saying. Especially if I'm dissing another community and I ain't even out there to defend my own community. You feel me? I'm throwing gasoline on a well-lit fire. That's bullshit. I'm putting other people's lives in danger, and I ain't even out there to participate in anything that may comes from some bullshit that I'm jumping online saying. I'm jumping behind the camera saying, and I ain't even out there. That's a bad look. How can anybody respect? How can the people that's part of that community, how can you respect that? And again, I'm not taking no shots at nobody. I'm humbly expressing something that I'm seeing that I know that's not right. And it can be coming from my own community, or you know what I'm saying? like I'm going to approach the situation the exact same. You feel me? Because you are putting other people in harm's way. In the meantime, you online, you playing a character, and it's all for content purposes with you. But to the people that's out here that may have ties to these people, when they seeing you doing these disrespectful things and saying these disrespectful things, and these people are actually in the field. These people are actually out there trooping for this shit. Actually, they really trooping for it. You got them like that. Them the people you not gonna. These niggas not finna make no videos broadcasting how they finna get at you from your disrespect. Them are the ones that you would never hear about on YouTube. You just hear about the aftermath of shit that may not be favorable to some of these guys that's doing it. That's jumping behind the camera, blatantly being disrespectful for no reason. If you was locked up and you was in jail and you was in prison around these same dudes and you wasn't in there on that time and disrespecting them to their face, why would you get out of prison and start doing it? That's the question of the day. If you was in prison and you was locked up around all your ops and you wasn't running around in that jailhouse disrespecting these men to their face, and you was around them, ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You was around them, and you definitely wasn't disrespecting these men, disrespecting their hood, they dead homies, and all. You wasn't doing none of that, right? Why would you ever get out of prison and start doing that? That's why I say that type of shit right there. If you say you've been to prison before and you do that, that's what needs to be brought up into question. Because you should know better. You lived under the rules and guidelines and regulations of not doing that because you know what would happen if you did it. So if you lived up under it before and you got out and you start doing it, you should still be held up under those same rules, regulations, and guidelines, and you should suffer for it. The same as you would if you was on a prison yard. My humble opinion, of course. Everybody is different. I get it, I understand it. Everybody approach would not be the same. I get that too. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be people like, oh, we don't do it like that. You're a belly nigga, you're this, you're that, you're wherever you're from, right? I get it. To each his own. My thing is, right is right, wrong is wrong, bro. You feel me? We all make mistakes. Ain't nobody perfect. With that understanding, we also have to understand the fact that nobody is above correction either. No matter what you contributed to the game, nobody is above correction if you are wrong about whatever it is that you are doing that can be putting other people's lives in jeopardy from a mistake that you are making. Nobody should be above correction, bro. That's all I'm saying. Point blank, period. That's why it's certain rules, regulations, and guidelines that happens on a level 4 general population yard. That's why a lot of that stuff is there to avoid the wars, the unnecessary bullshit. You don't have dudes running around on a level 4 general population yard disrespecting other dudes' hoods. It just don't happen. You don't have dudes on general population level 4 yards doing anything against the grain because they know what would happen. And if you ever been to prison before and had to live under those rules, regulations, and guidelines, and then you got out and did things or started doing things that you know was against those rules, regulations, and guidelines that you once lived up under in prison, then y'all know the rest. Me, But we all have to start being grown, man. You feel me? I understand people don't want to, you know, feel like they are, you know, babysitting grown folks, and you know, but everybody is not able to govern themselves. Unfortunately, no matter how old they are, I've met a whole bunch of old fools that absolutely needed a whole bunch of governing, more so than it was surprising, more so than a lot of young dudes. I've seen every level of this shit. That's a fact. You feel me? So yeah, we have to be willing, man, to, for one, educate ourselves. Start thinking about what betterments that you want from the people that's in your community, the people that's coming up in your community. If you are in jail and they unfortunately follow up behind your footsteps into jail, it has to start at some point of you wanting better for them, your community. And that all starts from you educating yourself and putting yourself in a position to be able to teach these young dudes that's coming up under you in an unfortunate situation of being locked up, teach them better. Teach them to want to be better thinkers, to be smarter, to be more educated. Go to these classes, take these classes, read these books, study these words. You feel me? Do more of that type of encouraging. Stop teaching them to be one-track minded gang members. Well, I gotta hurry up and get home to my kids, cuz I'm going to a 50-50, cuz I only got a year, cuz, or blood. Yeah, I'm finna hurry up and get home to my kids. I'm going to a 50-50. The big homie said I can go over there, so it's all good. That ain't all the big homie said. The big homie also told you, you go over there, don't mess up and go back to a level 4. Why? Don't say because the niggas on the level 4 politic all day and they mad and angry. Don't say that. Tell them the truth. While y'all telling them to go, tell them why not to go over there and mess up and end up on the level 4. Tell them the truth. Because you're considered a PC once you go over there. That's what all the people with bad charges, I'm just going to say that, people with very, very bad charges is at. Once you go over there, you signed your life away. So if you go over, you mess up and you end up on that level 4 yard, the guys that's over there on that level 4 yard is going to find out that you came from a 50-50 yard, which is PC. And they're going to eat you like a gang of wolves because you went to the 50-50 yard when the information was available to you by your G homie who has a YouTube platform. By the way, if you haven't already did it, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to the Swang Low Podcast Show. Do Rock Creep, I would greatly appreciate it. Also, subscribe to our backup channel, Press Play TV Uncut. I would greatly appreciate it. But look, man, the information is there, available, not going nowhere. Chosen ignorance, I can understand that. You choose to be ignorant towards certain things, and that's on you. That's a decision that you made. But you cannot no longer use the excuse that the big homies didn't tell you this, the big homies wasn't there for that. Okay, I might not physically be there for you, but here in this virtual world, I ain't going nowhere, baby. This is it right here. This is the round table. It ain't just me. Look at all these wonderful people sitting around this round table. Straight up. Straight up. Yo Guabo. Am I pronouncing that right? Yo Guabo. He said, free Do Rock. Thank you, Brody. I appreciate you, man. Free me quick, please. You feel me? Pam said, facts, facts. Certified LA said, realest dude on YouTube. Man, salute to you, my brethren. I appreciate that. For real, for real. Black Six Ears says, so do things start happening when people find out someone is going home? Um, well, to keep it all the way real with you, right? If you know you're going home, you want to be as less visible as possible. To keep it all the way real with you, right? Meaning, like, they have a thing called S time, right? In prison, S time is when you have less than 30 days left in prison, right? So once you go on S time, they take you off of different stuff. There's less things that you would be able to do because you're going home within like 2 weeks. And once you get put on S time, then shit, you on your way out the door. So within that 2 week span of you being on your way out the door, why would you want to go out to the yard and when they can possibly jump off at any given time, putting you directly in the middle of it? The less seen, the better for you if you're going home, if you on short time status. You feel me? But the more exposure, because I've done it both. I told the story about I was on my way home. Probably I think I had like a day or two left. I went outside the cell. The homie Wick, Big Wick, rest in peace, from West San Diego, West Coast 30s, right? This was my celly at the time. This is big homie right here, right? He telling me, he like, man, nigga, what you going out the cell for, man? Nigga, you need to chill. You finna go home, nigga. What you willing to go out for? Chill out, right? Me being young, having that energy. I didn't want to be cooped up. I know I'm going home, but I still want to bounce around and, right? I had that type of energy instead of just chilling out. Didn't even have to go out. I went out and got into some shit. It's like a day or two before I'm going home. You know what I'm saying? So I've seen each stage of, either messing your date off or getting ready to mess your date off or any of that. It's just all about where you place yourself and what you place yourself in all honesty. You feel me? So if you ain't got a lot of time to do and you on your way out the door, shit, stay out the out the hot spots. You feel me? I was definitely one of the ones that I felt like, I'm gonna go out, man. Ain't nothing to happen. You know what I'm saying? As soon as I go out, something happen. You feel me? So at the end of the day, I can't place blame on nobody else but myself, because I should have been smart enough to just fall back, man. Let these days come and go, nigga. What's more important to you, going home or being out here with a whole bunch of other dudes? You feel me? Straight up. So, yeah, man. I mean, it's all about where you willing to place yourself if you on short time status. Black ear. Pam says sabotaging. Yeah, you can definitely get sabotaged quick. When that situation happened, when the homie Wick from West Coast was telling me not to go out, right? Them dudes, they didn't know I was going home, right? All they seen was an opportunity, you know what I'm saying, to get into it with a person that they perceived as their op. Really. And had I not went out, it wouldn't have never happened. It wouldn't have never happened the way that it did. You feel me? If I would have listened to the homie and just stayed back and chilled, you feel me, and let the days come and go, however, I think it was like 1 or 2 days before I was going on my way out, going home. As soon as I step out, bam, this shit happen. It's a full-fledged situation. You feel me? Yeah. Trying to tell you. Full-fledged. Yeah, man. But I think I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here. I think I've held y'all up long enough on this live. I appreciate all my roundtable family, man, for jumping in the chat, contributing as always. Y'all the greatest people on earth. For real, for real. Do y'all got anything in closing that y'all want to throw out there before we get up out of here? Anybody? Shout out to everybody too, man. I appreciate everybody joining the live. You feel me? I think I got my overall message out clear and concisely to the people. You feel me? Hopefully reaching all. Again, I'm not specifically targeting anybody. I'm just saying, you know, we have to keep the bridges consolidated, man. You feel me? Because take a look around. We under attack. We under cold attack, man. We not doing each other no favors by going at it with each other over bullshit when the bullshit can be avoided by correction and nobody feeling, you know, they bigger than the program. They bigger than the next. We all held responsible for, you know, how we conduct ourselves online, man. You feel me? And that's all I want to see. Just, you know, I want to see the bridges continue to be built, you know, with everybody, straight up. I mean, but yeah, that was really my only message I wanted to bring to my roundtable family, man. But look, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get up out of here. Pam said, God bless you. Better days are ahead. They are absolutely correctly ahead of us. You know what I'm saying? Definitely, Pam says, for real, for real. I appreciate you as always. I appreciate our whole entire roundtable family. You feel me? Much love, much respect to everybody. Now look, before I get up out of here, please, all of y'all, take this opportunity, man, to let the people that's in your life know you love and appreciate them while you can, because tomorrow is promised to none of us. We have to start taking advantage of time while we have the time to do it, because once it's over with, once that off button go off, it ain't no coming back on. It's a wrap. So we got to make the most of it while we can, man. Take advantage of time while we have the time to do it. You feel me? And let's just start, you know, start trying to work together rather than working against each other, man. On that note, though, hey, y'all take care. Y'all stay safe out there. To the next time we meet at this round table. I love all my round table family, man. Triple gang.